Hello Blood Bowl fans, I'm here with one more game against my comrade, Krisjay. Sorry, he's the only person in the community other than me who can speak Russian, so we do sometimes have a little bit of a joke about that, though neither of us are Russian ourselves. Krisjay is a guy I've played many times. His channel is featured on this channel. He's also a YouTuber, and he's one of, I'd say, my 5 top friends in this channel, including Fallen Glory, who you've seen before, and Urban Zorro, who I've played in the past here as well. I'm playing Orks this time, thou wouldn't gits. And I didn't think of a theme tune should have done before, so I'll call it Ra Ra Da Da Ra Ra, an Orca face. That's awful, but we'll take it. And Krisjay, like me, is not a very experienced rat coach, and he is playing the Rivertown Cheese Monsters. All of his teams are named Rivertown, and right now they are singing the Rivertown Blues. Let's see if Krisjay can at least out-Skaven me from the last game against Jeshi. So, coin flip. Love this coin animation, very well. Very, very seamless. I like it a lot. Coin flip was Chris's choice, and just double check, he chose to... No, it was my choice. Oh, okay. I chose to receive. Interesting. I thought it was Chris's choice for some reason. Sorry. So, Chris goes for a very similar setup to me by risking linemen and keeping other pieces way back. Rat Ogre way back. We did say we were going to do some silly things this game, but we didn't really specify what. So we actually ended up playing a pretty serious game, but there were some silly plays partway through as well. And playing against Chris is always quite a challenge because he's a very good coach. He's one of the better coaches in the league for certain, and I quite like it when I'm playing a very good coach who, even if they are a really good friend, if they're pretty serious in general, which I don't think Chris minds me saying that he is, then I will normally play a serious game against them. And first kick is a horrible kick, means I can give it straight to the goblin, and we can have a goblin throw immediately. When I play Orks, Orks are one of my favourite teams. I would consider myself a pretty good Orc coach all round, though I almost never ever take the troll. I don't like the troll piece, but I am playing with him to see if I can use him in any possible way that's worth something. My general goal with Orks is to kind of do a creeping death type move, usually through the middle, while the blitzers hold the flank. The black Orks just basically push their way up slowly, and the ball carrier stands behind, as the goblin comes round and thrower, if necessary, throws to the goblin. I am going to play that tactic similarly here, but because the goblin is pretty safe on his own, I'm going to just use the goblin as a projectile. So my tank formation is set up here. And here we go. Goblin hasn't been eaten, that's good. And he flies, and he goes splat. I don't reroll, and goblin is stunned. Well, that was fun. Never done that before, now I have, so I can tick that off the list of things to do in this game. Won't be doing it again anytime soon, probably. Unless I can find a really good time to do it. Probably throwing the goblin over the enemy line is a good idea, but from here to there, there's nowhere to put him really, so not doing anything like that. So, here comes the first Rat Ogre. This is going to be an important piece in this game. That's a double down. Oh! Oh! And that's an injury. That really makes it hard for the rats. You want your Rat Ogre against the Orks, that's for certain. And that's a really painful loss for Chris, especially so early. He's going to struggle as a result of that. But we don't slow down. We keep punching rats, trying to make a gap, and not going to lose too much from taking that 2 down, so I do. Unfortunately, I don't injure the rat, which of course is always the hope when you're punching one. But I don't think that's going to affect the game too negatively on my side. Gutter Runner can come into position, fine, but there are a lot of pieces I have here that can stop him, so I'm not too worried about him stealing the ball. In fact, I'm quite happy he did steal the ball, because unless he locks up all of these pieces, I can get a pretty decent block on him here. Maybe even get rid of him. Krisjay does screen off, which is good on his half, and he tries to dodge out the Storm Vermin, which fails. Doesn't take a reroll, and Storm Vermin is stunned. That's 2 of the punchy pieces down for a short while. And pretty straightforward now for me to get a punch on this Gutter Runner. I am going to bring the Troll in first, just to stand on the ball in case something goes wrong, and pick up the pieces that are on the floor. Black Orc is doing something weird with his animation here, the circle's in the wrong place. And took that punch first for some reason. I'm bringing the Black Orc in support. Yes, I am. Okay, that makes some sense at least. Yeah. And we're taking a block, a 1-die block, on the Gutter Runner, but it's good enough, and he's knocked out. That's perfect. That's exactly what I want. Ball scatters my way into a Blitzer's hand. That's interesting. I'm probably going to use the Blitzer as a ball carrier then. I don't feel the need to give it to one of the designated ball carriers, because a Blitzer's good enough. One thing I forgot to mention, this is actually a friendly. We couldn't find 2 teams in wood that were within range of each other, so we had to play a friendly. And this is actually Chris's team for the next Steel League. They've been playing a lot of the next Steel League teams. Sorry, there was a KO on a Line Rat. There, was it the other Storm Vermin? Ooh. It may have been the other Storm Vermin, actually. It was. That's good news for me. And Goblin did dodge out as well. I missed that little bit. Lost my trail of thought a bit there, sorry about that. Coming back though. So, Ball is in a very good position. Very difficult for him to stop. Though he does get a free punch on the Goblin that I didn't really need to give him. I'm not sure why I did. It's not a good punch though, so I'm alright. I'll try not to do that again though. Hopefully I won't even do it this match, because that was bad play. Half die on the Blitzer is pretty good. Risky, for sure, but he didn't have many options, so I don't blame him for making that choice. And he has made it very difficult for Blitzer to get out, so well done. I'm not afraid to dodge though, because my dodge chances are equally as good as Rats with a Blitzer. It's 3+ for both pieces. Standard Rats, I mean. But I am going to at least lock up this place in case it goes wrong, and probably do a block or 2. There's the first one, just a push, but it's good enough, gets him off the ball carrier, and Fro is going to come in with a blitz on the lineman. Oh, and this lineman, okay, doesn't make much of a difference. Also a push. And we can dodge out and even pass if we want to. May well take a pass here. Dodge is good. Could pass to this piece and just run it straight in right now. Pass fails. Inaccurate, off the pitch, and it's pretty good scatter, because I've got 3 pieces that can chase that down. I'm okay with that. He doesn't have enough pieces to secure the ball very safely, just to get the ball in his possession, which I'm sure he'll do. Gutter Runner goes straight for the ball, no hesitation there, and picks it up, runs it into a place where he can defend it as best as possible. Though most he's getting is 4 pieces in support, which means that I can't just completely trap this cage here. And if he fails to do it, block even easier. I guess he was looking to get a piece into a position to pass against, though he maybe could have dodged these pieces out instead. That maybe would have helped him a little bit there. Hard to say. Goblin comes in as a kind of a last line of defense in case something goes wrong here. Though I do have many pieces to get into this position. I don't think anything can get onto the Gutter Runner itself without at least 1 GFI though. Maybe... no, there's no GFI there, okay. It's just a push, so I reroll. That's a block down, which is good for me. And Black Orc is going to go and try and steal the ball. No, just secure the ball. Okay, I could have stole the ball maybe there, but I would have had to roll for it. That's some decent blocking on the line rats here, making the last line of defense all up and standing. 3 against 2, which is great for Orks, and just locking off these last couple of pieces as best I can. Take a couple of blocks here, because they're both 2 dies. If I get an injury, then great. Even if I get a stun, I'm pretty happy with that. No stun to be had, but it does mean that the Orks have a very clear advantage on the ball here. To be honest, Orks are one of the teams that I can't bring myself to play silly. When I was a child, I used to play Orks on the tabletop. I used to play them silly then, when they didn't understand the rules, but now I do understand the rules and I understand the game. I don't tend to play very silly. Fails the reroll on the pickup. Fails the reroll here. Uses reroll here, Jesus Christ, and fails the pickup, so I get a free shot at the ball again. Thrower can't quite get there, so I'm going to have to do it with a different piece. Blitz is going in to help as a last line of defense, and Troll is hopefully going to move into the middle somewhere. I do make a screen here just in case I don't manage to pick up the ball, because I don't have a good pickup piece here. Well, the Goblin actually. Though the Blitzer makes more sense from this place, and I can even hand off to the Black Orc potentially. Yep, Goblin's going to run into a scoring position. And so is Black Orc. Blitz is going to go for the pickup. Successful. And may even take a pass. I will take a pass, just for fun. Why not? Nope, hand off to the Goblin, which fails. I don't reroll. And it scatters perfectly. Exactly where I wanted to scatter. The only better scatter would have been back onto the Blitzer or onto the Black Orc. Gives him a chance to punch the Goblin though, which is never a good thing. And it's a good one. It's a very good one. Katja is injured. Goblin for a Rat Ogre. I will take that. I will take that happily, good sir. Both pieces were... Well, it's a friendly game, it doesn't matter what the result was, but both pieces were actually badly hurt anyway, so no big deal. Chris tries a pass. It's a dodgy pass, and but it would have put the ball into a much safer position than it is now, so I don't blame him for that decision at all. Best thing for me to do here, to be honest, is to blitz the Rat Ogre with Blitzer and try to pick up with Lork, so I'm probably going to do that. Though, just going to take a couple of blocks and lock up the last few pieces in case it goes wrong. I also put the Blitzer into a second scoring position just in case I do have to change direction later on. Ready with the Troll? I don't take a block from this Blitzer, but I do take the Blitz with the other Blitzer, and that's good enough. Black Orc tries to pick up the ball. He fails, but I got a reroll. 4+ is a lot better than you think. It works a lot of the time. Have to GFI to score, and take it, succeed, and we get a Black Orc score. Don't see this very often. Yeah, angry piece. Beautiful though, beautiful design. I love the animations of the Orcs. So, first score goes to the Orcs and a Black Orc. Rat Ogre down and a Goblin down. That's much better result for me, and 2 KOs for the Rats as well, so he comes back with very limited pieces here. Rat Ogres can be down a couple of men, but to be honest, against Orcs, I don't think you want to be down too much, because Orcs are difficult to break through. I learnt from my match with something spelt wrong, where I've seen this so many times that I should not leave a gap here, especially against Rats, so I don't. He has to take a dodgy block in order to make a gap here, so that's why I've set up the way I have. To Krisjay's credit though, he is not a coward. He's not afraid to take difficult plays when they are necessary. One thing I really like about him. And the Wooden Gits get an extra team reroll this half. That's really useful at the end. Not at all. Though I didn't have one, so at least I have 2 shots at something. Krisjay immediately takes the difficult block, which is very fair. And I think he's trying to figure out how to set up properly here, but he fails the dodge, so that's the end. I think that was a misclick actually. I think that he forgot that it was based by this Black Orc, because knowing Krisjay, he wouldn't normally make that play, to be fair. So I think that was a mistake. We were playing very late at night. And with just one turn of punching, I'm just going to make sure the ball can't get through very easily. He can't score anyway, I think. Maybe this piece. I don't think even this piece is in range though. No, it's not. Movement 7 actually. Yeah, it is in range, but it's very difficult for him to score with that piece. I'm not too worried about putting him down as a result. I'm just instead worried about stopping the ball from getting through this area in general. He can go this way, but going this way doesn't help him, so I leave this part exposed. Not a big deal at all. First really stupid of the game. Probably the first of many. And I get a pow on the gutter, which is always what you want. Don't follow up for some reason. Not sure why, actually. Could have followed up there. And make it very difficult for him to move the ball, and for him to block, for him to do anything really. Though he does take the 1 die without hesitation. And he takes 2 die on the Black Orc, and they're both down. Which is not really what you want to do with a rat, but if it's your best option, it's your best option. And his stun's not so bad, he'll be right back. That's the end of the first half. So, Orks go into the second half 1-0 up. And let's see how the teams are going to fare. Orks down to 10 men with the Goblin injured. And Rat Ogre injured means potentially 10 men for the Rats as well. 1 knockout return, leaving him as 9 men. So 10 against 9, which is not bad for Rats, though, like I say, against Orcs, you kind of want to keep your numbers at least a little bit. I don't change the setup. He can make the same play if he wants to. I'm not really afraid of that 1 die attack. It's the best play he has, and even though he can defend the ball here, at the same time there are just too many pieces to lock up, so I don't mind giving him that risky play again. Whoever goes to nice from the bright sun from before, so passing is going to be a little bit easy now. That's another touchback. Both starting kicks have been touchbacks. Goes straight to the gutter runner. Gives Chris a chance to do some damage and make a little locked up cage here. The 1 die block is successful again without a reroll, and he does put himself into a position where thrower has to go around in order to do damage. I kind of like what Chris does here, but to be honest I think a standard cage would have been a better option. It would have been harder for me to break into. But he's obviously trying some tactics, seeing how he can defend successfully with Skaven. And he's making it as hard as possible for the thrower to get round, but at the moment he still can get round without a GFI. And he gets a 2 die block if he can stand against the gutter runner on his own. So I will probably GFI here to get the 2 die block. And he takes a 1 die against the Black Orc. Fair enough. That frees up this rat who can come in and offer more cage. Yeah, looking at this, Chris, I think you're really better off doing a standard cage in this kind of scenario. I like what you do here, the way you break through the gap, but yeah. Though you do it better later, giving you a bit of a spoiler, but you do the defense later, and the guys watching will see how you do it. Though this time, it didn't work, mate. But just for the sake of showing off Russian, if nothing else, I will say Udachi at this point. I'm putting blitzers and Black Orcs in support and locking up as many of these pieces as I can, so even if it does go wrong, the only thing he can do is run the gutter runner through easily. It doesn't go wrong, that's a good block for me, and I can punch him right into position, making it almost impossible for him to get the ball out without rolling a lot of dice. I bring in the last Black Orc as extra support because I want to get the ball out of this space if possible and as quickly as possible. The one issue I have is that the only ball receivers here are Troll and Black Orc. So I've already decided at this point that I am going to try and get the ball to the Troll. If it fails, then fine, but the ball will get out and the ball will be on the big guy. Though he does of course have a chance of picking up the ball and running it out, he just has to roll a lot of dice first. He has a reroll though. And he needs to use it. That's good enough. His biggest problem is getting the ball off the thrower. So pass is probably the best option actually. And he does run the gutter runner into the center. He dodges him out as well and goes for a pretty straightforward pass. But he doesn't pass. Probably should have passed there. No, actually, not necessary at all. No, what am I talking about? Didn't need to pass at all. That was fine. Though, yeah, really not defended well enough. I can get the ball out here quite simply. Didn't need the 2-die, but I take the 2-die. And hope the ball scatters away. It doesn't. It scatters into the blitzer and then goes off the pitch, which is even worse. And rolls onto the troll, who fails the catch, and the ball goes into another rat's hand. Troll is pretty angry now because he wants that ball, so he goes straight to punch that rat. But he just gets a push, and Black Orc is going to try and knock out that thrower, but he just gets a push. The dentist isn't doing what he should be doing, which is collecting teeth. Give us them teeth. Though the blitzer does do his job, and that's a gutter runner down. That's painful for Chris. That bone cruncher has a go at the Storm Vermin, and the Storm Vermin's fine. Last Black Orc comes into position against the thrower, and thrower himself locks off the piece that can run it into the line. Chris can play a passing play here. It's probably his best option, though of course it's risky, and he's got to get it through the 2-3 Orc pieces that I have in the way. So, pretty sure it's his only option. Dodges out. Dodge is successful. Handoff. Handoff. And last piece is going to move into a position where I can pass, I guess. Ooh, dodge first. Very good. And here it comes. And pass is successful. Nope. Lobber manages an intercept. Well done, that man. That was a tense moment, but Lobber broke the ice. And Chris is just, unfortunately, really out of position to defend against that as the result of that play. I could do something sensible and just run thrower out, to be honest, but why do something sensible on this channel? In these kind of games, we're just playing friendlies. This is where the crazy things can happen, and they're about to. Lobber's going to do a pass to the troll. And it works. Catch works as well, and troll doesn't really stupid. He runs well out of the way. Troll is quite safe, and Chris is going to really struggle to stop that. I've also got the blitzer to support him on the line. Second blitzer goes up as well, so the only way that a rat can get to the troll, he's going to get punched by 3 big orcs. I keep calling Krisjay Chris. He's Krisjay. I just say Chris for short, like I say Fallen for the short version of Fallen Glory. Though he's Krisjay both on Discord and in game. Ah, 2 down is good for him there, as he have a block piece on a Black Orc. And Krisjay is doing his best to get pieces through, but from the last play, which was unfortunate, I'm not saying it was bad at all, it was good play, but it was unfortunate that it didn't work, and he's in no position to stop me from scoring here, really. He does GFI. He has a reroll. He doesn't use it, though. That's interesting. I guess he's given up on this score. Because even if he has the rat there, all that's going to happen is he gets punched. So, Troll goes for a run. No, really stupid again. He's now in scoring range. And Blitzer is in perfect defensive position. Other Blitzer is going to lock up this side. So lineman has to dodge through or GFI to get to the ball carrier this time. The rest of the pieces stand up, making it harder for Chris to get any more pieces up towards the troll. Of course, if the troll really stupids, then there's a chance the Skaven can get there. So I need to keep the defense nice and tight here for the troll to get his score. I've never seen the troll animation before this game. Of course, now I have, because I've seen this game already. So I'm really hoping that the troll is going to manage. And that was a spoiler, sorry, when I think about it. That's a decent block for the lineman. That gives him a chance to stand on the troll as well, I think. with one piece not to worry about. One piece less to worry about. And yes, he stands on the troll. Blitzing him simple, and Gutter Runner comes up half in support, but I think Krisjay's mostly given up on stopping the troll, to be honest. That's a half die on the Black Orc, which is very brave as a little rat. He just gets pushed from it. And he tries to dodge the Storm Vermin through, which is quite sensible. Doesn't reroll, he's keeping it for his chance to return score. He can still get 2 scores if the troll manages not to really stupid. I kind of hope he does really stupid at least once, because it's going to make it harder for the rats to counterattack. Because there's a good chance rats can get 1 score. There's a chance at the moment that rats can get 2 score. Push isn't really good enough, means that I can't stall, I have to try and move the troll. So I'll do that now. And that's a really stupid. Could re-roll, not going to. Though I did debate it for a short period. You can potentially get Gutter Runner and Lineman onto troll from this position, I think. Unless I put Gutter Runner down, of course. So I am probably going to try that now. Yep, and I do. Saving the troll any hassle from little rats. And Gutter Runner is stunned. Don't think that's going to affect the game at this point. Already pretty safe up here. Yeah, Krisjay really can't do anything to stop this. It's quite unfortunate for him. I'm not even stalling. I'm trying to get to the end zone. I don't really want to stall, but really stupid forced me to. That's a stun against the thrower, which again at this point I don't think it makes much of a difference. He wants the pieces here to get hurt, not the pieces down here. Push isn't good enough. I've got 3 pieces to do the attack anyway though, so no matter what happens, he's getting punched. Could reroll this. But he doesn't. He's saving them all for his counterattack, which is fair enough. I blitz for the pieces down just to get him up. Could have blitzed from here, that would have been better, but I blitz from that position. Good enough. Lineman goes down. And let's see if the troll can finally do. Yes, he can. Troll runs it in. If you've never seen the troll's animation before, you're about to see it. That's Squig Brain. Manages to get a score. He's so stupid he doesn't even know what to do once he's scored. He just gives a nice spitty roar. And the goblins look really happy when they're filming the cheerleaders. I've never noticed that before. It's quite funny. Still 2 dead and injured for the rats, though the knockout comes back, and I'm still down 1 with the gobbers, so we're 11 v 10. And it's Chris's turn to counterattack against the 2-0. Let's see if he can get at least 1 back. None of us changed the setup, because I'm quite happy with him taking that risk to get through. He's quite happy with that chance to get through the gap. Good on both sides. Get an extra reroll because I have Coach Assistant and Fame on this rookie team. And that's a decent block again. 3 times it worked. He didn't even need a reroll. I'm trying to think where he did use the reroll though, because apparently he's used one. Oh, I forgot to mention as well, he bought an Apo, which I don't usually do for rats in the first game. I usually give it to them the second game, because, to be honest, loner line rat is not so bad, though losing a positional does hurt, of course, so I don't blame the Apo choice. And the setup is much better this time. He's actually locked up the throw. I have to dodge out if I want to get to the ball now. And so long as this block is successful again, Gutter Runner is going to be pretty safe this time. So goes for the pretty straightforward pass. Pretty straightforward pass is successful. Gutter Runner moves into position in an almost cage, but he runs straight through. He's mostly screening off, which is nice. Skull isn't good, has to reroll, but the return block is good. So the last piece can come in as support, and it's going to be hard for me to get to the Gutter Runner this time. So Krisjay, you did much better with this one, mate. Much better. This was very difficult to break, actually. Now I'm going to try my darnest, though. So I get a couple of pieces into position. I'm probably going to dodge out the thrower. It seems to be the best option. The only other option is to stand on the Gutter Runner, which isn't really good enough. There's no point in standing on a Gutter Runner with a 2+. dodge and dodge itself, so automatic reroll. You want the gutter runner down. You don't want to just stand on him. The only time I would just stand on him is if the gutter runner was right on the edge. Otherwise, I want to punch him. So Fro's going to have a go. First dodge is good. Second dodge is not. So reroll. And fails. That's good enough for the rats. You could just run it straight in. Last turn, so we're going to end 2-1 here, and he does a little gutter runner dance. Okay, we've seen this animation a lot so far in this league, but there it is again. Gutter runner does his ninja dance. Alrighty, let's have a look at the smiling goblin again. Yeah, look how happy he is. I like that a lot. Okay. Goblin's still injured. Same amount of rats is still injured. We get one more round of punching and then it's game over. It's a friendly game, don't need to vanity pass, but probably will anyway, because passing is what I do in this game. Passing is my favourite pastime. Ha ha ha. In this game for sure. High kick, meaning that chucker, not chucker. Okay, I put a black hook right under the ball just for silliness sake in the last turn. Take a couple of blocks because why not? I'm Orks, it's what we do. We punch things. And I'm going to go for a black hook to black hook pass as the last play, so long as this lot is successful. That's successful, and troll? Really stupid. Okay. And finally, a pass. First pass is a fail, reroll. Success. And the catch is a success, there we go. And just for a last little drive, Blackhook does what he does best and skulls in the block. Oh, well done. Krisjay, as always, it was a pleasure. It's always a pleasure playing you, mate. And I always like it when we play competitively as well, which we mostly do, to be fair. We haven't had a lot of friendlies. I think this is our first friendly, actually. We usually somehow get paired in divisions. Gouger got man of the match, but because it was a friendly, it doesn't matter, so no SPP. 2 touchdowns, 2 passes, that's what we always see from Orks, of course. 2 passes, yep, that's what they do. And an intercept. This was a perfect day for ball handling for the Orks. And 13 armor breaks, so they did what they do, and they also did what they don't do. And 2 touchdowns were from pieces that don't traditionally score as well, the Troll and the Black Hawk. As for the Rats, 1 touchdown right at the end, 1 pass, which is what they normally do, and 3 armor breaks. To be fair to Chris, he wasn't actually getting into the fight a lot of the time, which is a good decision when you're playing as Rats. So, well done for not going toe-to-toe with the Orks. All in all, a very good game. Thanks for watching. May Nuffle smile on you. I'll see you soon. Bye bye.